Now, I've been playing this game on the Chinese server since its initial release, and I'll be very honest, I think the pay to win is pretty significant. Now, don't get it twisted, that just because a game is pay to win doesn't mean that it is not fun. I think the game overall is still very fun. I also think the game is still free to play friendly. A game can be simultaneously pay to win and free to play friendly at the same time. But it's undeniably that pay to win do exist, and today I want to cover to what degree pay to win exists on Brute Protocol Star Resonance. I know people are having fun on the English beta, and I'm not trying to be the party pooper, and again, I think the game is very fun and I think it's still worth playing, but let's talk about the pay to win and how important it is. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I've been working on a VTuber which kind of looked like this, so I would love to have you guys there when I eventually do debut it. Pay to win and Brute Protocol Star Resonance come in three major formats. There is the cash shop, the auction house, and finally the Imagi gachas. So Brute Protocol Star Resonance is not a gacha game, but it does have gacha features. There's a gacha menu that featured cosmetic only gacha. These are purely cosmetics and do not give stats. But there's a secondary gacha hidden at this NPC right here. It is not on any menu. If you talk to the NPC, you can gacha for something called the battle wheel, and these are basically battle summon that you can use in battle, and I'll go more into that a little bit later. Some of the upgrade progression in this game is very time gated. Skill book is one of those examples where the only reliable way of acquiring skill book is going to be through either the mysterious shop or the honor and the reputation shop. And you can see here you have a weekly limit of 25 of these, right? And the only way to acquire them is either through the mystery shop, the honor shop, or like you can potentially open it from a chest or the trading center. The reason why I would say that this is arguably free to play friendly is because as a free to play player, you can very reliably get upgrade material every single week without putting in a lot of effort and stuff like that. You can very reliably get upgrade material, but it's a double-edged sword where in order to get more than what the game gives you, your result or your only option is to swipe. The only other reliable way to acquire them is going to be through the trading center. However, this method is extremely expensive because the book price is really high, and they're going to be really high because you need so many books for your class. A pay-to-win player can come in and they can trade in their premium currencies for in-game currencies, so they can directly buy in-game currencies by spending the premium rose orb currency like this. And they're just going to be able to basically buy everything on the trading centers and get significantly ahead of the free-to-play player who are significantly more limited to their weekly amount and have no other real way to acquire them. Now, I want to emphasize and clarify that the game can simultaneously be free-to-play friendly and pay-to-win at the same time. The game do give you a hefty amount of material so that you can upkeep with the latest content easier. As a free-to-play, you can pretty much do most of the available content there is. Having more DPS is always going to help clearing the latest content and stuff like that, but you will be able to do them as a free-to-play for the most part, with the exception of Tower. The tower can be argued that it's a content that free-to-play player cannot access because this is purely a DPS check, so the more damage you do, the easier you get through it. In fact, free-to-play player likely won't have enough damage to get to the higher floor, even at the current moment on CN. There are a lot of other plays that you can argue have DPS check mechanics. In the second Tina dungeons, which you might have experienced on the beta if you've been playing the game, you'll notice there's a mechanics where she spawns a free clone and you have to kill them before they reach the boss. And if you have more DPS and you can just one-shot on a clone, then you can deal with that mechanics easier than a team who might only have the minimal DPS. It doesn't mean that they can't deal with it. It doesn't mean that free-to-play player can't pass the mechanics, but undeniably someone with more damage, a pay-to-win player who can do more damage, will have an easier time getting through that mechanics because they're able to hit the clone faster. And this kind of happened throughout the game. There are going to be other mechanics even in the 20-man raid involved like killing an ad fast enough, and if you have enough DPS then you just kill them faster, so it's easier. Now the next question is, how much damage is someone who is swiping going to be able to do over you? That's a hard question to give it dedicated numbers, but in my hot take opinion, kind of like unbased, I would say 1.5 times to even 2 times damage is a possibility, and you'll see why all of these come up later. But someone who is swiping can potentially do 2 times damage than someone who don't, and that's like a random number I just pulled off my ass. But that's not entirely true, because there are like DPS sheet, like keeping track of people numbers with what gear they have. Coming into these videos, you can see that this person, for example, he's a pay-to-win player. He has 2 of these Imagi at max level, which are almost impossible to acquire as a free-to-play player, and he was able to do like 95,000 damage by putting his entire game on full auto, while someone who a little more free-to-play, and once again they put their entire game on full auto, so there's like no skills issues, it just whatever the game decided to hit, he's doing 48,000 damage instead. So that's a little closer to half. So this person who is free to play have half the damage of this person when they're both on full auto mode. Now of course this gap like could widen or closer as you like actually play the game the intended way, which is like more manual and stuff like that. But then we have more things to consider. So this is just a showcase, it's not a definite truth, but it's a possibility. The biggest form of pay-to-win in Boot Protocol Star Residence come from the Imagi system, which are basically the summon that can assist you in battle. Now there is a Imagi gachas in the game that you can use to acquire this Imagi easier as a pay-to-win player, but for the most part, these can still be acquired in the game. The Imagi all basically correspond to a specific boss, and when you defeat these bosses, there's a very low chance for them to drop the corresponding Imagi that you can use. So therefore, these are tradable and you can buy them on the auction house, which are located somewhere like here. I would say the chances of getting one is very low, and it's not impossible for free to play to acquire, but it'll take a lot of time and hard work to acquire one of them. And here's the thing. Each of these can be refined or upgraded to level 5 by using duplicate copy of it. It's kind of like a gacha game in that sense, where like you can see here you have like level 1 bandit, and then you can get it up to all the way to level 5 by having 5 of the exact same copy of it. And it will take like a month for free to play player to acquire one of them, while play to win player is going to have 2 of them at max level 5, and that is going to be the biggest difference between free to play player and pay to win player. If you take a look at the difference between a rank 1 Imagi and a rank 5 Imagi, you actually notice a very big difference. Taking a look at this specific one, for example, because I think this one highlighted really well, you can see that each of them come with an active effect and a passive effect. At rank 1, which again is already very hard for free to play to acquire, but it is doable over time, this one gives 13% crit damage. At rank 5, this one gives 25% crit damage. So someone who is paying all the way to rank 5, it's just gonna have 13% crit damage over your rank 1, but the active effect also get a very big increase. The active effect, which is the actual summon itself, when you summon it, it will do a little bit of damage, but it also gives you bonus stat. It gives you 600 critical up, and it gives you an additional 24% critical damage, and it has a 90-second cooldown. Every single one of these values will increase when you refine it up. So when you refine it all the way to refine 5, the amount of crit you get go up significantly. You get 1000 crit base instead of 600. You get 40% crit damage instead of 24. The cooldown on it also decreased from 90 seconds to 60 seconds. So someone who has refined 5 is just gonna get much higher values, but also a lower cooldown, so they can cast it more often. And again, you can equip 2 of these. So someone who is pay to win is going to have 2 of these at refine 5, giving them a massive amount of stat bonus, while a free to play player is going to struggle to even acquire one of them. This doesn't end here, because your support, like the rest of your party, can also each equip 2 pay to win. Specifically for something like a support, you have the bandit leader. I don't know why they translated to breaking like a leader here. This leader, or this Imagi, is a support Imagi. So you can see here that this one particularly, it gives your entire party an attack percent up. At refine 1, this gives your ally a 6% attack up with a 15-second duration. But with this at refine 5, this one gives your ally a 10% attack up instead. So it kind of go exponentially because your support can also pay to win their summon, and they give the party a bigger buff, and so the DPS do more damage. Specifically, the most important one, or the biggest one in terms of damage, is going to be the Tina. The Tina Imagi, if you take a look, it reduces the skill cooldown directly. It just makes your cooldown tick faster. So someone with this Tina Imagi gonna have more skills available, could the cooldown go faster. At Refine 1, this is 60% cooldown down at a 20-second duration. At Refine 5, this is 100% cooldown down, which means it takes twice as fast at a 20-second duration. And you often see whale support advertising that like, hey, I got max level Tina, like please take me in your party because you'll be able to pump damage. And if I'm a DPS player, why would I not take someone who has Refine 5 Tina over Refine 1 Tina? Just because this let me do more damage, right? So in that sense, like this is pretty pay to win. It doesn't end there, because this Imagi is what we like to call a human Imagi. The difference between this one and all the other ones is that these are monster type Imagi, while Tina, and most importantly the Arona, is human type Imagi. The human type Imagi cannot be acquired through in-game method and are only available through the gachas. So these are the ultimate gacha price. You can see you can choose one of these to work toward, and these have a 0.15% chance of dropping on every pull. And these human type Imagi are only acquirable in the gacha and are not acquirable in the trading center. They do not exist on the trading centers. It's not tradable. It is probably important for me to mention that the gachas can be pulled on using the in-game unpaid currencies. So free-to-play player can technically acquire this free premium currency over time and pull on the gachas banner, but if you're lucky, you might get one of them at the end to hit like pity, while a pay-to-win player can have like Refine 5. So that's like the biggest difference. The biggest offender and the most powerful Imagi in the gacha banner is actually Arona. It might not look like it when you look at the effect, but it's actually the most powerful one, and this is the one that every party begs for. If you look at the effect, it basically revives your teammate if they're dead. This here is straight up the holy grail of Pug's dungeon, because your party member probably sucks when you Pug in Ray, and out of 20 people, like 2 people probably are gonna die, or 3 people are gonna die. And so what's gonna happen is that you literally just equip the pay-to-win Imagi and you revive them so they can keep DPSing, right? This is like the Pug solver. Now, you can argue that if you're really good at the game and your party never dies, then you don't need it. So like, in that sense, this is not a must-have to play the game, but it's undeniable that this makes it significantly easier, especially when you realize you can chain this. So imagine your entire party is dying to a max and you have last one person alive. You can use this Imagi to revive 4 allies. Those 4 other allies can use this same Imagi again to revive 4 more allies. You can instantly resurrect your entire parties from 1 party member all the way back to 20 member and pretend nothing happened. And this is extremely powerful to chain, and it's like the holy grail of pugging in this game. If you have this Imagi, you get into like Pug party for free because people just sucks. Like someone is guaranteed to die and you just be like, well, I'll revive you, don't worry. I'm gonna show you guys this clip from one of my Ray where there's this mechanics in the Ray where you have to put down barrier to prevent these walls from coming in, because when you touch the wall, it instantly kills you. Now we actually failed this mechanics because the other party forgot or don't have the barrier for some reason. So we can see that this wall still close in. This is normally a wipe because this wall is just gonna eventually come all the way and kill everyone. But what's gonna happen is that you see we have one player who intentionally ran past the wall to die. He's gonna get revived, which is what the yellow is, with the Arona Imagi, right? So the wall came in, I die because I'm in the way, right? And you can see everyone died. So this is a wipe. But the Arona Imagi was able to revive this person all the way who will already die, right? And then these 2 people or 3 people are now alive. And this is normally a wipe again, right? What's gonna happen is they're gonna start chaining the Arona Imagi. So you can see here's the second one coming in with more yellow revive, right? Someone else casts this, revive people. Someone else casts this, revive people. Like here, this is the third one. Someone else casts the Arona Imagi again, revive these two people. And now you turn from a party wipe into a clear, right? Because you're able to just chain revive all the way and revive everyone when everyone is dead. So I would like to know what you guys think, especially looking at that clip there about these kind of Imagi. But I'm gonna be honest, like seeing that clip, how you can say like this is not pay to win when someone with this Imagi is just gonna get a priority in terms of party recruitment over someone who don't, just because like it doesn't mean you sucks, but it just prevents people from making mistakes, and it just makes everything like so much easier, right? And this is like only the first iteration of the gacha Imagis. We don't really know what's gonna happen when this banner ends. You can see there's an end date at the bottom right, so eventually this is gonna get rotated. Are they gonna introduce new NPCs or new human type Imagi that are even stronger than what we have right now? We don't really know yet. There's not even a second banner on the CN, but that is a possibility to think about for the future. The hardest part of acquiring the actual Imagi though is actually not even getting the drop. The hardest part of actually getting these to function is the actual material to craft them. So when you do get a drop, you still have to actually craft it before they become usable, and it will cost you these like yellow legendary material. These yellow legendary material are extremely hard to acquire. They are very rare, and they take a long time to get. These material are extremely annoying to get, and you can actually see on the Chinese auction house, they actually don't even exist. It's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, because the drop rate for these are really low. However, what's actually easier is that they actually directly sell these material in the shop. So here you can see this chest you can buy for 400 rose orb, and this contains a selectable material. So if you're swiping, you can just simply buy the material here directly from the game. Now, a lot of people have this confusion of the difference between bound rose orb and the unbound one. The bound one, the one with the chain, is acquirable through in-game method. They're given out through compensation. The free-to-play still are going to have access to this chest, but in a much slower rate, because your amount of rose orb that you can acquire in the game is significantly more limited and slower. But a pay-to-win player can just directly buy the orb using your credit card, and then they can buy the material here. A lot of people don't understand that you can convert the unbound rose orb, which is the one you get from your credit card, directly into the bound rose orb, and then buy this material chest. It's just a two-step process, but you can exchange the pay premium currencies into the unpay premium currencies, and then you can buy the chest that way. So this is something that pay-to-win player can just straight up buy out. I want to emphasize that the game overall is still really fun. There are really good aspects about it, and once again, I do kind of consider this game very free-to-play friendly. Free-to-play friendly can exist at the same time as pay-to-win. It really depends on how you define it. Everyone has a different definition of pay to win. Everyone has a different acceptance of pay to win, and it's all come down to this thing. I'm not trying to be the party pooper and say like, this game is free to play or pay to win, don't play it, especially when a lot of people are having fun on the beta. But I also think the pay to win element in this game should be something we shouldn't deny and probably look at and address. Western players typically are a lot more unaccepting when it comes down to pay to win and stuff like that compared to Easton's player. And the good news is that this game is currently only in beta right now, while it's scheduled to come out in October. So there's a potential that they can still adjust the monetization system when it comes down to shipping this game in the West if we give them enough of the feedback. A lot of people like to talk about removing the gacha Imagi like straight up. That is something I don't know if it's going to be doable, but let your opinion be heard. Comment in the comment section below. It worked before, so we'll see if it worked again, or maybe they'll make some adjustment and stuff like that. With that being said, as always, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel for more Blue Protocol Star Residence guide and content. I stream regularly on Twitch as well, and definitely check out other my social. So yeah, bye bye.